Hey folks, thanks for watching my video on how to do some of the homework problems. Hopefully you were here in class for our discussion, took some notes, and I made it clear to you yesterday how this works for the most part, but there's still some problems that maybe you struggle with. So on problem number 7, I had it on the whiteboard over there. We're looking for the height of the cell tower, right? And it says that the shadow that the cell tower casts is 100 feet long. And then it says that there's a person that's 4 feet 6 inches tall. So I'm going to put 4.5 feet right here. This is a little tick mark that means feet. And, why am I putting it that way? Well, there's 4 feet plus 6 more inches, and 6 inches out of 12 inches is a half a foot, right? So that's 4.5 feet. So this is 6 inches, out of 12 inches. And, the other thing they tell us is that her shadow is 3 feet 4 inches long. So let's see here. 3 feet is definitely going to be there, but let's do that calculation. 3 feet plus 4 out of 12 inches, right? 4 out of 12 would be a third, a third of a foot. So I've got 3 1/3. So I'm going to put that right down here, 3 1/3. Now, my drawing is not to the right kind of perspective here. The height of the cell tower is longer than the shadow because the height of the person is more than the shadow length, right? So sometimes you just have to, kind of ignore the way the drawing looks and just go by the given information, right? And this is one of those situations. So I'm going to set up a proportion because I know the two triangles are similar. Why are they similar? Well, we got this angle right in here, right? That's in common between the two triangles. And then we have these right angles for sure. So by angle similarity, the two triangles are similar to each other. So I'm going to do something like x over 4.5. Those are corresponding sides, the heights of the two objects. And then I'm going to do 100 over 3 1/3. So 100 over 3 1/3. And then we're going to cross multiply. So I'm going to go 4.5 times 100 and 3 1/3 times x. So 3 1/3 x equals 450. And then I'm going to divide by 3 1/3, 450 divided by 3 1/3. And, I think, you could do that, if you're really good at fractions. But let me show you if you're kind of intimidated by the fractions. You could just take, it was, what was it again? It was 450 divided by 3 1/3. So I can go 450 divided by 3.33333. Put a whole bunch of threes there until you stop seeing this guy change, right? And that's roughly 3 1/3, pretty close to it. So 135 is what I'm getting for the length or the height of the cell tower, 135 feet. Look, I could say more about that, like how to do this arithmetic, but that's, kind of not really our main focus. If you're understanding what I did over here on Desmos, I think you're in good shape. Let's see, we did 8 in class, so I'm going to skip over 8. On these 4 problems, they start out by saying, what two triangles are similar to each other. And what they're looking for is a similarity statement. So let's say I focus in here on this guy for a second. So let's just focus on number 9. If I go from the right angle to the one ticked angle to the no ticked angle, that would be BED, triangle bed. Okay, so triangle BED. And then I'm going to say it's similar to triangle. And then I went right angle, one tick, no tick. So I got to do the same over here. Right angle, one tick, no tick. So BCA. So I'm going to put down BCA. Now, as you're putting your answers into the computer, it's multiple choice, right? So they may not have gone, BED. They may have gone BDE. So if I had triangle BDE, well, that went like first, third, second, right? First, what I'm saying? It's a little different order here. So I just changed the order of this one to be the same kind of order here. So I went right angle, no tick, one tick. So right angle, no tick, one tick. So it should be BAC. So triangle BAC, yeah, right? So same letter in the first spot. The second letter went to the third spot, and the third letter is in the second spot. So Look, sometimes those multiple choice problems are almost more difficult than you just fill in the blank, because I can choose whichever order I want to go in. Once I choose that for the triangle kind of on the left, I got to do the same for the triangle on the right, matching up corresponding angles. And when you're trying to do multiple choice, you're trying to figure out which order the author went in. Okay, so be real careful on problem number 9. Number 10 is if you want to go ahead and find x, right? And this is what you did in your homework. You just had to find x, and so, or whatever side they're asking us to find. You got to be careful with that. So if I match up some corresponding sides like 15 over 12, and I'm not worried about what the scale factor is, like which one's the image, which one's the pre-image. I'm just matching up corresponding sides here. Once I choose the triangle on the left to be in the numerator and the triangle on the right to be the denominator, I guess I'm saying this is the image and this is the pre-image. But if you understand to that level, that's awesome. But you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going from 15 to 12. So I'm going to go x plus 5 to x plus 1. So x plus 5 all over x plus 1. And what you got to be careful of is you got to make sure you distribute correctly. So I get 15x plus 15. If you put 15x plus 1, you're forgetting that the 15 needs multiplied by the 1 over there. And then we get 12x plus 60. And I'm going to subtract 12x from both sides, right? So subtract 12x from both sides. I end up with 3x on the left side. If I subtract 15 from both sides, I get 45 on the right side. I divide by 3, and I get 15. Now, wait, you got to be careful. Like, I think they asked for in the book, they asked for AC. They asked for this length right here. So on number 10, you got to be careful. Like, does it say AC equals? And then it gives you a little box to type your answer in. You got to put 16 in there because we're putting 15 in for X right down there. Okay. Hey, thanks for watching that problem. Hopefully this is going to help out. Some people I would imagine are, I don't know, not going to watch the video. I hope this is helpful for you, because it does take some effort on my part. Identify the similar triangles. Okay, here we go. Well, we got some vertical angles. We got some alternate interior angles, right? So if I go vertical, alternate interior, no tick, I got to go vertical, alternate interior, no tick. So I would say triangle, let's see, what did I go? LKJ is similar to triangle. So I went 1, 2, nothing. 1, 2, nothing. So I got to go LNM, LNM. All right. Then I want to find out how big X is, or in this problem, JL. They asked for JL. Maybe it's the same on problem. Well, it's not problem 12. It is problem 12. In our homework, it was problem number 10, out of the textbook. So let me put that down, textbook. All right. So anyways, let's see. I could match up 16 and 4. So I go 16 over 4. Well, that reduces down to 4 to 1. So whatever I do on the right side, I'm going to set it equal to 4 to 1, because why deal with bigger numbers? So x plus 18, it goes 2 tick, 1 tick, along that side. So if I go 2 tick, 1 tick, yep, x minus 3 corresponds to it. X plus 18 all over x minus 3. But I'm going to put that down here. I'm not going to deal with the 16 and the 4. And then I cross multiply again, and I end up with x plus 18 equals 4x minus 12. And I subtract x from both sides. I add 12 to both sides. I divide by 3. Okay, so then I take my 10, and I want JL's length. I put 10 right there. So, hopefully it's the same in the computer. You put down 28, because 10 plus 18, right? All right. Next problem, I keep forgetting that I've organized it all on the same page. So number 13 is right down here. And let's see, I've got parallel sides again. So these are corresponding angles instead of the alternate interior angles that we had a second ago. And then we've got that shared one called the reflexive property here. E is in both triangles, right? And so let's see here. I want to go like 2 tick, 1 tick, no tick. So I could go EGH, triangle EGH. Doesn't matter how you start this problem, but it does matter once you pick that order, you go the same order down here. So EDF, I think, would match up the same corresponding angles. Now I'm going to set up a ratio, And these get a little trickier now because they're not telling us an entire side length of triangle EDF, right? So how big is side ED? ED is x plus 5 plus 9. I'm tackling one of the harder parts right now. I'm going to put x plus 14 because if I add 9 right here, I get x plus 14 for the whole side length, right? And then what corresponds to this whole side length? Well, x plus 5 does. So I'm going to put x plus 5 up here. And then the other two are 6 and 12. Hopefully that's maybe a little bit more obvious. You know, these sides are the corresponding sides because we went 2 tick, 1 tick, and then, you know, along the side that we're worried about, 2 tick, 1 tick along the side. Anyways, we get a ratio of 1 to 2, right? 6 to 12 reduces down to 1 to 2. So deal with the 1 to 2 instead of the 6 to 12. And we cross multiply. We get 2x plus 10. We get x plus 14, right? When I multiply like that, and I subtract my x, I subtract the 10, and I get x equals 4. Now, let's see, what do they want on this one? They wanted EH. How long is EH? Okay, and then there should be a box. And so if I take the 4 and I plug it, oh, wait a minute. Did I copy down something wrong? How long is EH? Oh, that's tricky. They do want EH. Well, look, they got a 9 right here. So there's a 9 down here. So these two, this one here, must be equal to this one up here. So if I put 9 or 4, excuse me, if I put 4 right in here, I get 4 plus 5 is not. Wait a minute. These are. Oh, look at that. See, because this is half as much as that, it means that this is the mid segment of the triangle joining the midpoints, right? So this must be 9 long. This must be 9 long. I would just wasted my time with this stuff over here. Shoot, sorry about that. I didn't notice that. Number 15 or whatever the number is in your computer, I guess it might be 15. Oh, it is 15 in the computer, but on the textbook, it's 12. Sorry. Oh, why couldn't they have just numbered them the same way? So this one's very similar to, to what we just did. So, we got corresponding angles. Could be these angles here, could be these angles here corresponding, right? And you also have the shared angle. So anyways, if I go shared angle, 1 tick, 2 ticks, that's TVU. So triangle TVU is similar to triangle TSR. So TSR. And then I'm going to set up some corresponding sides like 6 and 14. That reduces down to 3/7, right? Don't deal with the 6 and the 14. And then we've got x plus 2 all over. If we add those two together, we would get 4x minus 1, right? So for adding like terms together. So I'm going to deal with this guy right down here, 4x minus 1. And then I'm going to cross multiply. So I end up with 7x plus 14. Hope I reduced that correctly. Yeah, I did, didn't I? And then cross multiply this way, right? So I take 3 times 4, and that's 12x. And 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. If I subtract 7x from both sides, I end up with 5x on the left side. If I add 3 to both sides, I end up with 17. So 5 goes into 17 3.4 times. 3.4 is my x value. And then on 15, it wanted VT. How big is VT? All right, so let's take 3.4 and let's plug it right there. So 3.4 plus 2, I'm doing this stuff right here, and that gives me 5.4. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching the video on how to do the homework last night.